94% of financial advisors who set ambitious production goals miss them by more than 30%.
He didn't need more leads. He needed to stop being $150 an hour service rep
That's
for
right.
clients who should have been systematized.
Yeah.
Today, we're burning that old playbook and giving you the exact framework that's helped advisors we've coached double their production in 12 to 18 months.
This is double or nothing, the 2026 goal setting blueprint that actually works. All right, be honest. How many times have you set a New Year's production goal that sounded amazing in January and by March, you're already making excuses? You're listening to this and thinking literally every year, you're not alone. In fact, 94% of financial advisors who set ambitious production goals miss them by more than 30%. But here's the kicker, it's not because you're not working hard enough.
Right. And it's definitely not because you don't want it badly enough. Kevin and I have worked with hundreds of advisors over the years, and the ones that are stuck at 2 million, they're not less talented than the ones crushing 10 million. They're just following the wrong playbook. Today, we're burning that old playbook and giving you the exact framework that's helped advisors we've coached double their production in 12 to 18 months.
Whether you're at 2 million trying to hit 4 million or 5 million high in that 10 million, we're breaking down the specific moves you need to make. No fluff, no generic motivation, just the tactical stuff that separates the advisors who plateau from the ones who scale. So let's get into it. So let's start with why this is so hard. You've probably been to conferences where some motivational speaker tells you to dream big and believe in yourself, right? You set that BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. You write it down, you visualize it, maybe make a vision board if you're feeling fancy. I know Matt loves his vision boards.
Yeah, and then January 15th hits and you've got a difficult client situation. Two prospects have ghosted you, and suddenly that $5 million goal feels laughable. So you revert back to what's comfortable. This is what we call goal abandonment syndrome, and it happens because traditional goal setting ignores three critical elements.
Yeah, so first there's the belief gap, right? When your goals feel too disconnected from your current reality, your brain literally rejects it as impossible. So a $2 million producer setting a $5 million goal without a bridge strategy triggers psychological resistance, not motivation.
Yeah, second is the activity illusion. Most advisors confuse being busy with revenue generating activities. A research from CEG Worldwide shows that top producers spend 60% of their time on activities directly tied to revenue, while, average producers spend only about 23% of their time on stuff that's actually making them money.
That's right. And then third, that's the accountability vacuum. That's without external accountability and milestone check-ins, 88% of those goals are abandoned within first 90 days. 88% of goals are abandoned within the first 90 days. So your brain needs proof of progress, not just a finish line.
And here's what actually works: reverse engineering from capacity, not aspiration. Instead of asking, what do I want to earn? You need to ask, what would I need to systematically change to make doubling my money realistic? That shift from wishful thinking to structural analysis, that's everything.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're walking through here today. Yeah, I want you to think of this as an architectural blueprint for your 2026. So by the end of this episode, you'll have the framework. So are you guys ready to build it? Let's build it. All right. So here's where we get tactical. Okay. Before you can double, you need to understand what's currently preventing you from doubling.
Right.
We call this the constraint analysis, and it's stolen directly from manufacturing theory. Okay. Every system has one primary bottleneck that limits total output. So your practice is no different, really.
Yeah, most advisors assume their constraint is lead flow. I know most of the guys I talk to. If I just
100%.
had more prospects, I can't get my hands on any more leads.
Yeah, I
And
need more leads.
yeah, and I'm always thinking, well, what are you doing with the leads you got?
Right.
Where are they? But when we audit those practices, lead generation is rarely the bottleneck. Most often, it's client capacity, operational inefficiency, something that we're experts at helping with,
Right.
and poor client segmentation that's capping growth. So I'll give you a real example. I'll let Kevin give this example.
All right. So one of the advisors we work with, this guy produces around, 2.5 million annually, 2.3, I think to be exact. And so he was convinced that obviously we hear this a lot, I
I
need
need
more
more
leads.
leads. Yeah.
So we did the math. He was spending 40% of his time servicing clients who generated less than $5,000 in annual revenue. So that's 200 plus hours per year on low value relationships. So when we helped him implement a strategic client segmentation model and delegated the C tier clients to a junior advisor, what it do? It freed up about 15 hours, about 15 hours per week.
Yeah, 15 hours a week, that's 780 hours annually that he
Right.
can now dedicate to the high value prospecting and relationship deepening with his high net worth clients. Within, what was it, like 12 or 14
Yeah,
months,
just over a year.
he
Yeah.
was over $4 million in production. He didn't need more leads. He needed to stop being $150 an hour service rep
That's
for
right.
clients who should have been systematized.
Yeah. So let's break this down by production level because I think that's where you got to go. You got to
Right.
break this down into
Yeah, if
pieces,
you've only
small
got
sections.
15 clients, you can treat them all equally, but
Right.
you get 1,500 clients,
Right.
you're gonna
Now you
have
got
to
to
have
manage
some
it
type of triage.
100%. So let's go for if you're a $2 million producer trying to get to 4 million or more, here's your path.
Yeah. First, you wanna conduct a time audit in week 1. Track every hour for just 1 week. You wanna categorize everything, so revenue generating activities like prospecting, cultivating referrals, closing, guys that you have in your pipeline. Client service like meetings, calls, admins, you gotta put those hours on into another block. And then operation stuff like team management, compliance, and then throw a category on there for waste. We all do it. Those email rabbit holes, the unproductive
God, yeah.
meetings, you just read one news article about something and an hour goes by.
Right, right.
Your goal, you want to get 50% or more revenue generating time.
Yeah, that's key. And then second, you want to implement your client segmentation in, weeks 2 to 3. So here's what you do. You got to break your clients into, 3 tiers. So you got your A clients, and that's a 15,000 plus annual revenue that they're generating. Th- They've got high growth potential or they're strong referral sources. That's
Right.
key. The B clients are that 5 to 15,000 annual revenue. And then we got your C clients, which are under $5,000 annual revenue. Um, and then you got to develop the service models for each tier. That's the other key here. They are can't be created equal. So your C clients get technology enabled service, client portals, automated check-ins, a quarterly webinar, and an associate advisor who's got access.
Right.
Right. That's the key there. You're not spending all your time as the top advisor. Look, you're not abandoning your clients here. It's about right sizing the service industry or the service delivery to your particular economic reality,
Right.
right? And everybody's different, and that's what we do. It's we don't put everybody into one size fits all,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I mean, if you have a client, for us, our clients are also advisors. If I've got an advisor who's producing many millions of dollars a year for me, he calls and needs me to call the carrier. I'm going to call the carrier right away.
100%.
I've got another client who's producing $4,000 of revenue so far this year, and they need me to call the carrier. Well, you know what? When I have a few calls to make to that carrier, I'll get an answer to this and
Yeah,
I'll call them back later. I can't drop what I'm doing and go sit on hold 6 or 8 minutes for somebody that's not paying me
right.
to work for them.
That's
So
right.
you wanna right size your client base and the effort you're putting into each one.
Right.
And then your third course of action, implement the 5-5-5 prospecting rule. You want to commit to connecting with 5 A-level prospects, 5 referral sources, and 5 existing A clients every single week. So you got to go hit your valued clients. Hey, Tom, I just want to thank you again for being a client of mine.
Yeah.
blah blah blah. How's your godson doing in swim practice or whatever? He's graduating. Have you thought about college education? You
Right,
can accomplish that with life insurance. Just have a good reason to call him. Don't call him just to check in. Have a good
right.
reason to call him
Never call to check in.
and ask for a referral. Hey, is there anybody you can think of that
Same
might
type
be
of
able to
yeah,
use my services?
yeah, one of your
Anybody I
golfing
should call to?
buddies or
Yeah.
whatever, yeah,
Yeah, one of your golfing buddies. Everybody set for retirement like you, or is there
yeah,
you just the top dog on the course?
yeah, right. Typically, people hang around their social level, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Millionaires don't hang out with,
Yeah,
minimum wage workers,
yeah,
not generally.
you
Uh,
typically, your A client's not hanging out with your C client.
exactly.
Occasionally, but it's
Yeah.
very
Rich
rare, right?
clients have rich friends, and those are your referral sources.
That's right.
And creating this 5-5-5 plan, it's a structured rhythm that creates predictable pipeline growth. It's no more feast or famine. It's going to the grocery store
Yeah,
every week. You know there's going to be food there because you're going to the place where food
right.
happens.
Yeah, you live in Florida, you're going to Publix.
And at a 20% close rate with that 5-5-5 plan, it generates over 50 new ideal clients every single year.
Yeah,
And you're not doing anything, you're not going way out of your way. You're just changing the way you work your day.
yeah. So, yeah, when it hit that 20% close rate generates 50 new ideal clients annually. 20 per so again, this is analysis that we do at Advisor Rescue for the advisors, and it's can sound a little daunting, but we actually come in and do that work for you and can help pinpoint it. And once we get an advisor kind of working through our system, it's like they have the aha moment and they've all of a sudden
Yeah, they
found
get it.
free time that they
Right.
didn't have before, right?
Yeah, they're making more money and they have more free time and they can't figure out
Yeah,
why it was this easy the whole time.
right. And then the fourth thing is you got to hire that first associate advisor, and that can be daunting in itself. Like, or how am I paying for it? Well, you're going to pay for it because you've just allotted your time different, right?
Right.
Um, and so for those advisors, which are most, they're doing everything, themselves. There's constraints. You got constraints as that individual advisor. You're the do all and be all. And you were on a phone today with a guy, and he's like, "Yeah, I got to go find the product." You're like, well, we even do that for
Yeah,
you, right?
we do everything for you. We don't want you
Right.
sitting on the phone on hold for no reason. That's our job.
Yeah. And so,
And if you hire a junior advisor, that's their job
yeah,
because you're supposed to be out there prospecting, closing
yeah.
deals, networking, the
y-
things that are getting you
Right.
paid.
There's a
Sitting on
problem
hold's
that's
not getting you
up.
paid.
You
Yeah.
got to check with the carrier to see when they get distribution. Well, that's your junior client now does that. You don't do that. What are you
Right.
doing? And we hear this. You put me in front of a client, I can close anybody or prospect. I can close any prospect and make them a client. Well, if that's the case and that's your belief system, then hire the associate and be in front of more clients. And we can
Exactly.
show you how to
Yeah.
do that.
And your junior advisor can take on that stuff that's actually costing you money.
That's right.
I've cost this guy some money.
Yeah.
We did a term policy. I think it was about $26 a month for the premium. Took about 8 months to close. I probably put
Oh,
200 hours into it just
yeah.
to get it to close. But a lot of that was just wasted effort, wasted momentum when I could have been going after some higher net worth clients or
Right.
closing some bigger deals.
That's right. So, and that's key. And whether you're the advisor or wholesaler in our case, or in sales, those are things. These are fundamental things that
Right.
you've got to kind of work through. And you know, I think most advisors, Matt, as well, kind of wired into want to help everyone. And so what he's had to learn as a wholesaler is, hey, I got to have my A, B, and C advisors as well.
I'm still helping everyone. I'm just helping them in a different
in a
order.
different order, right? Um, and then when you hire that associate, you teach them how to handle the C clients, and then as they're proven their worth, then handle that B client as well. Um, and so if you think about it, that prep work typically costs anywhere from 75 to 100,000 all in, but frees up like 500,000 in your advisor capacity. So, okay, you're spending for your help. They're making some variable comp. So let's just call it, 75,000, but you're going to free up, 4 to 500,000. I mean, I don't know anybody that wouldn't do that,
Right.
but it's how do you get there? where we could come in.
Yeah, and for those that are just starting out or maybe having a hard time getting over that first hurdle in your career, that's perfect advice. But if you're a $5 million producer and you're trying to get to 10 million or more,
Yeah. A little bit different
your
game.
path looks a little bit different.
Yeah. So first you got to do a mental shift, right? So you have to move from advisor to CEO. And that's where I've, kind of the wheelhouse with the advisors I've worked with over the years. When I was doing what you were doing was okay. I treated everything as a business because I did M&As back in the Wall Street for a little while. And so everything's a business. Everything's got blind spots. Every business does. Um, and every business has opportunities.
Mhm.
And so once you identify the blind spots and identify the opportunities, it um, becomes a little bit easier to understand. And so we can take that expertise that I've had for all these years and we put it into clients' practices. So here we go. For a $5 million annuity advisor who's looking to get to 10, we're going to move from to that CEO spot. So at 5 million, you're really not building a practice, you're scaling a business.
Yeah, you
Okay.
shouldn't come off as an insurance agent or like
Right.
the fidelity guy. You
Yeah.
should be, oh no, this is Kevin. He owns
Yeah.
his own shop. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a businessman. He's the CEO of this company. He's got staff that work for
That's
him.
right.
Yeah, you wanna come off that way, and it's gonna help you get from 5 to 10 a lot quicker because
100%.
the kind of folks
You
that wanna
got
park a
people
million or
doing
2
that.
with you, they
Yeah.
don't wanna do it tommysinsurance@gmail.com.
Right.
They wanna go
Because
tommy@insurancepros.com or
right.
something like that. You wanna come off as the CEO of a corporation
Yeah.
because that's what your goal is to become.
100%. So what this does, it requires some transitioning from doer to orchestrator, right? The constraint is usually you're staying in the weeds,
Yeah, you're
okay? And
trying to
that
do everything by yourself. Yeah.
100%. And so the target here is to spend about 30% of that time on direct client work and 70% on business development, the team leadership and strategic partnership.
Yeah, and second, you need to build a client acquisition engine. You need systematized, predictable lead flow, not these random networking events. This group's hosting one over here and this group's hosting one over here. You need something that's happening every week or two to
Right.
keep that clock ticking for you.
That's right.
So your options are you could do like a strategic COI partnership. Identify 5 or 7 estate attorneys or, CPAs serving your ideal client, develop co-marketing initiatives and formal referral agreements. You want digital authority positioning, so you publish weekly LinkedIn thought leadership targeting your niche. Advisors using this approach will report 30 to 40% of new clients coming from inbound digital channels within 18 months.
Yeah.
Then you got educational workshops. This is where Advisor Rescue, like that, our system really comes into play here. We have a proven workshop model that consistently generates qualified leads. 20, 30, 40 high net worth leads,
Yeah.
like clockwork, like this, like fast you can snap your fingers.
Right.
And it's proven because we're all still out in the field using it. That's how we know it works.
Yep.
Um, you can host quarterly educational events. You could do in person or virtual for a specific niche. Advisors using our workshop strategies, they generate 40 to 60% of new clients from these events and then
Right.
referrals fill out the rest of their book.
Right. And then here's the other key piece. So how do you go from 10 to 15 to 20? Well, the first thing, if you're doing the educational workshops, which got that whole system laid out, it's foolproof and proven. Um, it's pretty easy. We've got the math to show you how to do it, and
Yeah.
it's really quite simple.
Yeah, you can run through the minefield yourself and blow your legs off,
Yeah.
or you could listen to us. We've already driven you a map through the minefield.
Right.
Cater
Yep.
it on the other side.
Right. And then you've got to create a leadership team. And so, what that kind of looks like, you need a strong operations manager to get that off your plate. Um, you need a lead advisor or advisor team and a client service man. Okay. And look, they don't, at 5 million, they don't have to work full time necessarily. we can come in and say, okay, this is a 10-hour, right now it's a 10-hour a week position. Um, Sometimes, and I've met a lot of guys, they've got this, you know, God sent this angel that can do a lot of it and just keeps the advisor's world, in order.
Mhm.
And that's key, but that's not everybody can find that. And so, depending on, you know, your bandwidth and whatever, that the more you can delegate that out and keep yourself in front of people,
Yep.
that's how you end up
Yeah, think of
increasing.
yourself kinda like a surgeon. You know, if you ever been in an operating room, surgeon ain't doing everything.
Right, right,
He's not cutting into you and wiping his brow and grabbing the forceps
right. They got everybody.
and running the anesthesia and the saline and the blood drip. They got people for all of that stuff, and if you're trying to get from a mid-sized business to a larger sized business, you need to start thinking
Yeah, you got
surgically like a surgeon
your
would.
role now becomes a vision. You're casting a vision out there, right? Um, you've got to, you know, you've got to do that relationship leadership with those top clients. You want to always stay in front of them, and then you got to look at different types of strategic growth initiatives. But you're not out there managing the day to day.
Yeah, if you're bringing in $10 million in revenue premium, you probably shouldn't be in charge of making sure there's paper towels in the break room.
That's right.
Hire somebody for that.
Right.
And fourth, block your CEO time. Carve this time out of your
Yeah, this is
calendar. It's
key.
very important. Schedule recurring weekly blocks for strategic planning, business development, and team leadership. This can be one-on-one work, or this could be with a mentor that you have, or one of
Right.
these performance specialist teams that are out there too. And these appointments with yourself are non-negotiable. Treat them like your most important client meeting.
Yeah, and that's usually what happens. I know I fall into that too. It's like, I've got to take care of this fire. Um, Matt's in the office again with his hair on fire, and now I got to put that out. So, kidding a little bit,
But not much.
but but look, all right. So listen. Are you noticing a difference here? That, the $2 million advisor needs to focus on operational efficiency and his time liberation, where the 5 million advisor needs to focus on building systems, leadership capacity. And these tactics are really, tier specific
Right.
because the constraints are different.
Yeah, even if you're at the top of your game in a small business, doing 4 million a year, your time constraints between 4 million and 5 million are vastly different.
Yeah, exactly.
It like night and day. And when you get to that $5 million mark, you're like, oh my God, I need some help around here.
Right.
And the folks that recognize I need some help around here, they're the
They're the
ones
ones
that
that
are
can
ahead of the
grow.
curve. They're the ones that do well, that continue scaling.
Yep.
And if you don't know how to get help, work with people that know how to provide that
That's
help.
right.
Give us a call, advisorrescue.net. It's a great place to go. You can get all our contact info there. We can set you up whether you're trying to get from 2 to 4 or 5 to 10 or 10 to 20 even.
Yeah.
If you want to get that big.
Yeah.
Or maybe you do 500,000. You just want to get to 1. We can show you the ropes.
Yeah.
Learn from the
But,
best.
yeah, those are easy. They're fun.
Yeah,
We can
those
do
are
that
easy.
in-
Yeah, we'll
we can
teach
do
you a
that in
lot.
phone call.
Yeah, you can set your business up the
Yeah.
right way going in instead
Right.
of having to step on all these landmines on your way
That's
to
right.
the top.
Yeah. Okay, so you've identified your constraints, right? The advisors identify the constraints. Now let's talk about 2026 growth stacking. I'm big on stacking. I talk
Right.
about that all the time. Here's 5 strategies that are absolutely crushing it right now based on current market dynamics and where the industry is headed.
Yeah. These aren't trendy tactics that'll be obsolete in 6 months. These are structural advantages that forward-thinking advisors are leveraging while their competitors are still doing the same thing they did in
Right.
2019.
That's right. So strategy one is it's the radical niche specialization. Okay, so what does that mean? So literally, generalists are dying. That's the guy that's doing the Medicare because we just had that season. Now they're trying to buy 5,000 life leads or annuity leads and spending all their time rushing through that.
And then they wanna do
Yeah,
PNC
I
and
got a little PNC, and so they're pulled 1,000 different ways, and they're a master of nothing, right?
basically, yeah.
Um, so look, I think that generalist has been kind of going by the wayside, but I think more so now than ever with AI out there, people can Google and know
Right.
information pretty good. So you better, if you're in retirement planning and the other guy's doing Medicare and then he found an annuity, the guy that's in retirement, he's going to crush the guy that's the generalist. And that's
Absolutely.
typically what happens. It, I get asked, we get, do you guys do final expense? The answer
We
is
can.
no. We
Yeah.
can, but why? I
Yeah.
mean,
I can change a tire. I don't do it for a living
yeah,
though.
exactly. So here's the thing. Clients want specialists. They
Right.
want that advisor who only works with tech executives going through liquidity events, for example,
Right.
or the advisor who's exclusively serves, retiring teachers with pension maximization. That's you you're looking at the 2, and if you're hearing this, you're like, "Oh, yeah, I wanna get into the tech and do," because those are big buyouts. Yeah, there's a lot of information that you better be good at to specialize in or bring an
Exactly.
expert in, or if you're new to it, go find the advisor that's expert in it. The teacher ones, that's all like, people are like, "Well, they don't make that much money." Their pension accounts are pretty good. I know here
Yeah.
in Florida,
Because it's
Illinois,
consistent. It's
it's
every year.
consistent. They got then they're now retiring. They've got 25 years. They typically live within their means, and so there are really good um, opportunity with those teachers in their retirement and showing them how to maximize.
Yeah. And if you're one of these generalists that also does retirement, you're losing so many clients you never even hear from
Right?
because, like
I
Kevin
don't know.
said, they want specialists. If you've got a brain tumor, you want to go to a doctor that
Those
removes
brains,
brain tumors and
exactly.
only works on brains.
Yeah.
I don't want the guy cutting into my brain also removed an ingrown toenail
Yeah.
yesterday. Like,
Right.
I don't want that surgeon. I
That's
want
right.
one that just does this.
Good point.
So you want to become a specialist. That's probably the fastest way because then
Yeah.
it lets you focus on
Yeah. But if you're doing retirement planning, that's
that
what
needs to be what you do.
that needs
Yeah.
to be on your website.
Yeah.
Do retirement plan.
But you want some data. Everybody loves the data. Advisors with defined niches grow 2.3 times faster than generalists.
Yeah.
And that's according to the advisor growth study from Fidelity.
There you
We've
go.
all heard of them. And why? Well, there's 3 reasons. You've got referability. I work with everyone. That's
Yeah.
unreferable.
Yeah.
What kind of clients you looking for? Anybody with a
Anybody.
pulse and a few without. It's fine.
Yeah.
As long as they're still warm, we can
Right.
get a wet signature. I specialize in wealth planning for newly divorced women executives. That's a clear referral trigger. Oh, I know Debbie. She just got
Yeah.
divorced. She has nothing to do with all this money. So, referability is the first reason. You got marketing efficiency. Your message becomes razor sharp. Your content speaks directly to one avatar's pain point. Hey, do you need life insurance or dental insurance or retirement planning or homeowners insurance or mortgage insurance? I forgot what this guy's selling
Yeah.
me. He's
Exactly.
insurance, I think.
Yeah.
I don't like insurance.
Yeah.
But yeah, have you recently become divorced? Who knows all the Big Lou commercials?
Yeah. Right. I know.
Everybody
Everybody.
who can hear us right now has heard of Big Lou. He's going after high dollar term insurance clients.
That's right.
That's what every one of his commercials is for.
Yeah. That's all he's
Somebody
doing.
looking
Term.
for a final expense policy is never even going to call this guy's
Right.
number. And then your third weapon here is pricing power. Specialists command premium fees because they know what they're talking about.
Yep.
Advisors serving business owners charge 50 to 30% more than generalists because they offer specialized
Yeah.
value.
They know how to do key man insurance and
Exactly. Yeah.
walk that business owner through the right channels to maximize that business and business owners' blind spots, right?
Right.
So listen, if you're listening and thinking, but I don't want to turn away business, I get it. Here's the reframe. You're not turning away business. You're becoming, world class at serving a specific type client. And so when you're world class, you're not competing on price anymore. You're competing on your unique value.
So strategy number 2, that's technology as a competitive moat. And let's be real, most advisors are still using technology from 2015. We know some still using their own Windows 95, I think.
I was going to say, 2015, they'd be
And typewriters going
nice.
in the
Yeah.
offices. They're manually building proposals in Excel. They're sending PDFs via email and wondering why prospects aren't wowed.
Yeah, right. So meanwhile, you've got the guys that are running elite practices and they're using, modern financial planning tools, which for advisors that work with us, they have access to um, automated client communication workflows, digital onboarding experiences that, really make them look like they're from the future, right?
Right.
And it sounds daunting. It's really
It's really
crazy
easy.
easy to create.
AI's made it even easier.
Oh
It
yeah.
was easy before, but now
Yeah,
AI's made it
yeah,
even easier.
yeah. And so, here's the thing, technology's now more than ever accessible.
Yeah, and the data supports it. 73% of high net worth clients under 50 expect their advisor to offer some type of digital first experience, according to Accenture Wealth Management study just from last year from
Yeah.
2024. So if your onboarding process requires 3 in-person meetings and wet signatures, you're losing deals to advisors offering Zoom-enabled planning and e-signature workflows.
Mhm. Yeah, and more our business is e-signatures,
Right,
which
yeah, a lot of the companies we work with, they don't even have a way to
that's right.
intake paper forms.
Oh, are we still getting asked how to do
We're
that?
still getting asked how to do that.
Every day.
You gotta hire a junior advisor, then he does data entry for you.
Yeah. Uh, and so listen, modern planning tools are cutting plan preparation by at least 40, maybe up to 60%. So that's time that can be redirected into, revenue generating activities more so.
Right, and some of those tools are using, like, an efficient back office. Like,
Yeah.
we're the back office for most of our advisors. The tedious nature of going and finding the solution for your client, the minutes minimum, there's gonna be minutes spent. Usually, there's an hour or 2.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
get
mean,
an
you
hour or
think
2 to go
about
back to calling more clients and closing more deals while I'm doing that 2 hours for you
uh,
in the background.
yeah, exactly. Instead of the advisor, we hear it every day. Well, I was on the phone with National Life, and then I had to get on, XYZ insurance carrier to check on another client.
Yeah, and I wanted to see if their long-term care rider was the same as this one over here, and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I coulda told you they are.
yeah,
I sat on both
yeah,
webinars this week on Tuesday."
yeah. And so instead of the advisor spending 2, 3 hours on the phone with a couple different carriers, which is what most of our competition suggests that an advisor do,
Right.
we're
You could be
doing that.
spending 2 or 3 hours on
In
the
front of
phone
you.
with clients,
Yeah, writing more
yeah,
business.
generating referrals, yeah,
Yeah,
writing more
yeah,
business. So you wanna redirect that time into revenue
yeah.
generating
Little
activities.
little things stacking.
Yeah, and so the action step here is audit your tech stack this month. If you're not using collaborative planning software, automated marketing workflows, and client portals, you're working twice as hard for the same result as your competition that's out there. Invest $500 to $1,000 per month into modern tools. It'll multiply your capacity.
Yeah, and we've got a link that we'll put in that actually is an AI link that we do a free 2, 3 day webinar that um, would show you how to be experts in it. So if you're like, well, I don't really want to hire, I'm at 3 million, I want to get to 5 or 6, but I don't have the bandwidth or the ability to hire, but I kind of want to grow this business a different way. Well,
Yeah, those borderline guys that are like,
yeah,
I'm just big enough to grow, but
right.
just not
So
yet.
you
Yeah.
can use the AI, and we've got a link that'll be on this, on the social media outlets that we're on. So click on that. I think we've got one coming in a week or two. Actually, when this plays out, it'll be that week. So look at it, and it's really informative. It's free. Just click on the link on our deal. That gets you into it. So make sure that you look at that. Again, it's just something to look at, to think about.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. You don't want to be behind the times in tech. It's going fast now.
I can tell you,
Where we were a year ago is night and
I
day
got
from where we are right now.
certified in AI, 72-hour course 3 months ago. Its stuff has already changed.
Yeah, it's already outdated. Yeah.
It's like, golly, man. It's like, it's just a constant learning. But again, we can take that off for the advisor as well and say, oh, like, we can build this out for you
Exactly.
and build the bots and all that if you don't want to do. But this 3 day, and you can be in and out of it. conference, virtual, you may see it and go, "Yeah, I wanna do it," and that's great. If not, you can say, "I want Advisor Rescue to do it for me,"
Yeah.
then we'll do it.
We'll still tell all your clients you're AI
Yeah,
certified. Don't worry about
exactly.
it.
Well, we won't do that, but but we will, we'll be that background that, can put the things in place to make your world easy. Okay, so let's go to strategy number 3, the referral acceleration framework. So most advisors wait passively for referrals and hope they happen. I can't tell you over the 25 plus years I've been talking with advisors, hey, what's your referral system? Well, I really feel kind of weird asking for a
Yeah.
referral. And I have preached this over and over. Look, man, if you're doing a good job and they're happy with you, don't you think that they might have a friend that might want that same type of level of service if they're feeling great about you? Now, if you're half-assing it, then maybe you shouldn't be asking for referrals. But if you got somebody go, man, this is the best experience ever, boom.
Yeah.
That's a
And a
great
lot
time to
of
ask for it.
a lot of folks go after the referral the wrong way. They're not they're it's a vague, like,
Yeah.
solicitation. "Hey, if you think of anybody you might need
Yeah.
life insurance, here's my
It,
card, have them call me."
it's the same thing where I get on to wholesalers, never call checking in. It's
Yeah.
why? Uh, Call for a reason, have a reason. And so here's what our elite advisors, we've engineered referral systems, right? And so if you look at all right, how do you engineer a referral system, um, the, it really puts out a massive difference. So why don't you
Yeah,
go
we
in there a
teach
little
something
bit?
called the 30-60-90 referral touch framework. So day 30, after onboarding a new client, you want to send a personalized thank you gift, not generic, something tied to their interests you learned in discovery. Include a handwritten note saying, "I'd love to help others in similar situations. If you know anyone navigating, whatever that challenge was you
Right,
solved, navigating life insurance, navigating a 529 plan for college,
right.
whatever it be." No, I'd be honored just to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Day 60, schedule a financial plan review, but frame it as part of who else in your network might benefit from this type of planning. Make referrals an expected natural part of your process. Like you're expecting to be referred for more
Right,
business.
right.
And then day 90, you want to send a quarterly insight email or video specifically to your A clients, highlighting a recent case study. You can make it anonymous if you want, or you can put the client's name on it if they're fine with it. Like a planning strategy. Position yourself as the expert worth introducing to peers.
Yeah, that's key there. So advisors that implement this structured framework report, around a 40 to 50% increase in referral activity within 1 year. Listen, in the beginning, they feel a little, I- out of comfort zone, but once you put that system in place and it becomes just a part of who you are, then, um, and we did a podcast on this. Once you have that confidence, it just exudes out,
Yeah.
right? And so how do you get it? Well, you follow the referral system and we put in place, and then it just becomes who you are, and you don't even think twice about it. But yeah, the first month it's a little difficult, but we're here to coach that as well.
Yeah.
And again, look, it's not about being pushy. It's about creating intentional moments where referrals are top of mind,
Yeah.
right?
The first moment that I always go for a referral is immediately after the sale.
Yeah,
Like,
bingo.
"Hey, so who do you know who I could call and have the same conversation with,
Yeah.
or do the same financial review with?" It's not, "Do you know anybody?" It's, "Who do you
Who
know?"
do
I
you
want to
know?
know. I want Tom Jackson, and what's his
Yeah,
phone number? I'm calling Tom.
yeah,
Text him, tell him I'm calling him.
yeah.
You
Or
know.
when you're delivering the policy and you're going through it and like, okay, so this was what we talked about. This was the plan that we're putting in place, and here's the documentation and everything of that plan. Are we okay? And they're feeling good. Are you feeling good about
Yeah.
who else do you know that
Would like to feel this good.
feel that's good? And you'd be surprised.
Yeah. And how
Yes.
many people are having, like we said, friends tend to
Mhm.
all have similar
Yeah.
problems. If somebody's struggling with retirement planning, there's a pretty good chance they got a handful of folks in their same bucket, whether they work with them, they live down the street, They're talking over the barbecue grill over Labor Day. Man,
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to
Yeah,
retire this year. I wish I could get somebody to take a look at it, but we only got this one guy that we work with.
that's right.
It's a friend of our brother-in-law's, and yeah,
Right.
go for that referral while everybody's feeling good and
Bingo.
everybody's still hot off that sale.
Yeah.
And then your strategy number 4, educational workshops that actually convert. And here's something most advisors get wrong. They think workshops don't work anymore. They're wrong. Badly executed workshops don't work. Workshops where you don't follow up,
Yeah.
those don't work.
Yeah. When you have the
But
attendees and you never call them for the
yeah,
appointment.
but well-designed educational events are still one of the highest converting lead generation strategies available.
Yeah, so at Advisor Rescue, we've developed a proven workshop system that advisors use to generate consistent qualified leads. The key is structure. You need the right topic, the right audience targeting, the right follow-up sequence, and the right presentation framework. And we are doing what my business partner who does, you know, he
Eight or,
hit right
eight or
at
12 of these a month.
hit 40 million this year
Yeah.
by doing these workshops. 5 years ago, he was at, 7 to 8 million. So just by doing this system, and this is what we teach this presentation. Now, back to Bob's not gonna do 40 overnight,
Right.
but, he's built an infrastructure. So he's doing what he enjoys, which is being in front of that client, meeting with those A clients, all the minutia that go he's got people that are handling
He's
that.
handling all that noise so he
So
can
what's
focus
he
on the
doing?
music.
He's
Yeah.
focusing on the top clients. He's
Yeah.
out there seeing them. He's getting referrals. Whole system, the three-step process, boom, boom, boom. And those guys that want to follow that, it's really pretty easy.
Yeah.
But you got to get off and say, hey, 2026 is going to be different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, what was 2025? Was it, 6, 7
Yeah.
average? Could have done better. Well, 2026 is going to be the same way? Or are you going to
Yeah.
sit there and go, okay,
Or somebody come
I'm gonna
magically with a wand and be
yeah.
like, "You're gonna make twice as much money this year."
I'm gonna buy 20,000 leads for $200 and I'm gonna make it rich. And then what happens? I've been calling for 40 hours a week for
For 2 months
7
and nobody
weeks,
even
8
picked up
weeks.
yet.
Nobody's picked up, or they don't know why, or they already bought it because
Yeah.
this lead's been through 20 different people.
Yeah.
Look, man, this system works. Educational workshops work.
Yeah.
10,000 people an hour or a day. 10,000 a day are retiring, right? That is
Yeah.
I can't remember. A lot of people are retiring that are turning 65 that are retiring that, believe it or not, because we do these workshops, have no plan in place.
Right.
I just left Bear. I was with Bear for 30 years. I've got this 401k. What do I do with it? Okay. Well, that's a reason to come
Yeah.
in. And then and so we teach that kind of stuff. And I can tell you the workshops work.
Yeah. Some people's plan is to write checks out of their 401k and hope it doesn't hope it
Yeah.
lasts
Hoping,
until they
yeah.
die.
This is
Hope ain't a plan,
this is
guys.
their plan. I'm hoping.
And advisors out there, if you want different, you got to do different.
Exactly.
You can't keep calling the same, like you said, the same 20,000 age leads that you keep buying every other month and you're getting the same results. You want something different. You're going to have to do something different. And you might as well do something different that's already been proven to work. We've seen our advisors, they use our workshop model. They generate anywhere from 15 to 40 qualified prospects per event. If you're doing 2 or 3 of these a week, that's 100 qualified leads a
Right.
week that are landing in your lap.
Right.
And it's all about just chasing them down after that. And our advisors are converting about 25 to 35% of those. And they're not bargain basement leads. They're
That's
not
right.
age leads. These guys are qualified prospects. They've got millions in assets, or they're knocking on the door of a million. They want somebody to get them over that.
Right.
Compare that to cold calling or digital ads. They have, if you're good at cold calling, 5% conversion.
Yeah.
If you're good,
5%.
call 1,000 people, you got 50 deals out of it. And you have to call them, what, 6, 8, 12 times now
Right.
to actually get through at this point.
Yeah.
That's a lot of work
12 to
for,
15 touches.
yeah, that's a lot of buzz and no honey.
Yeah. A lot
But
of buzz and no honey. I like
when
it.
you use our system and you position yourself as an educator first and an advisor second, prospects are coming to you already pre-sold on your expertise. This guy wouldn't be teaching this workshop if he wasn't an expert. Who's teaching seminars at Ruth's Chris? Anybody with a life insurance license.
Yeah.
Not
What's a little
experts,
bit of money?
anybody.
Yeah.
Anybody with the
I'm gonna
money to
buy
put
them a
one on can
steak
do it,
and
yeah.
hope that people I guilt them into, having an
Yeah,
appointment
and
with me.
advisors, hey, if y'all are using the steakhouse seminars and it's working for you,
Yeah.
more power to you. We're getting guys into the workshop model, so the prices of those will probably be coming down, so you can thank us for that.
Yeah. Oh, the return on investment with what we teach versus the dinner seminar. And look, you want to do a dinner seminar, that's fine. But what we found is when you're standing in front of a classroom or you're in a educational workshop, you're now the teacher. You're not the
You're not the sales
schmooze
guy.
guy, sales guy that,
Yeah,
oh, I bought you a steak. How about an appointment?
yeah.
It's a little bit different, but
Yeah, you're coming in as, "I have this information, I wanna give it to you for free,
yeah,
I hope it helps."
yeah. It,
Who are you more likely to listen to? The guy that's just trying to help me for free is gonna get a call from me
right,
on Monday.
right. When
The guy that's trying to buy my affection with a steak, I'm probably not
the,
gonna call
the
back.
whole the whole thing is what we do is the whole process of our presentation is designed to say I want to have the appointment because I've gotten so much information. We hear this from I don't even know this information. Well, we teach that information and we have you do it for us
Yeah.
before you get out there so we can coach you up.
Yeah,
So
and anybody who's done a workshop who says it didn't work probably didn't have an office of people watching them do that workshop over and over and over again until they can nail it cold and then
right,
go hit the stage.
right.
They're given a cookie cutter presentation. Here's your PowerPoint. We'll put your name on the first slide.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it goes.
And
With
then
us,
we
it's
see all
not
the
like that.
time, whether it's the dinner seminar or the workshop, there's no call to action at the end, right?
Right.
So you got to have that as well. So here's the beauty of the workshop is, first they're repeatable,
Right.
but they're also scalable,
Right.
right? So we've got one great presentation that we built. We refine it
Constantly.
constantly
Every month it
with
goes through
whatever's
changes.
going, whatever Trump's decided to do. If that's affected, the retirement community, we're hitting on it. Or they're hearing, oh, Trump's taking away Social Security. Well, guess what? We've got all that done.
Yeah.
And so you don't even have to plan it. We've already got that done. But here's the other thing that different. We're already doing it and testing it.
So we
And
already know it
so
works.
we know it works or we know it doesn't work. And so before we've rolled stuff out, we've said, we're in the process of, we don't have the numbers yet, or this is predictable, it works. We made this change and this is the result of the change we made because this is now more in tune with what's going on in
Right.
current, which is different because competitors, they're not in the field, so they don't make the changes. They're doing a 2019 presentation. They haven't changed anything. The numbers are off. People are like lost.
Yeah, they're raising their hand. It doesn't mention anything about
Yeah,
tariffs.
right.
You know,
Yeah, why
our
is
we got what, 4 slides on
Oh
tariffs
yeah,
on ours?
exactly. So here's the thing. To build it, you can do these presentations quarterly, or I want to do more. Okay, well, if you do, then you're going to do 4 times
Yeah,
as the guy that does it quarterly.
right. And now we're
Imagine.
what if we did it weekly? Now you're doing it 4 times as much as the monthly
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
And you have those calls where just everything goes right on the sales call, and you hang up and you got the deal. It was a one call close. You're like, "God, I wish I could do that on every single call." That's what this is.
Exactly.
You do this on Tuesday, you're coming back on Thursday doing the
Right.
exact same presentation to a different audience,
Yeah. So
and it
so what
hits the same
happens?
every
It
time.
it becomes a predictable client acquisition system
Yeah,
or
machine.
machine,
You're
right?
just pulling the ripcord and getting it off and running,
That's
and
right.
it's up to you how fast
Right.
you wanna go with it.
So in 2026, whether you're doing them in person or virtually, they work. I think in person's better.
Right.
Uh,
Making eye
2020,
contact is a
2022, those couple years, people were all fearful of getting COVID. Now people want to come back out typically and have a face to face. They want to get out of their own place.
yeah,
We're coming back to the new normal, the old normal, which is now the new normal.
yeah.
But you still have the laggers, right? They're like, oh, we're interviewing a position here, and the guy's like, can I work from home? I'm like, you don't know anything. Why
Yeah.
would? Like, yeah, you got a 5% success rate if you work from home. No, doesn't make sense. So, but that's somebody that in 2020, that was, yeah, of course, nobody's coming to the,
Yeah.
um, but
2025, they expect you to have an office now,
yeah, I mean,
unfortunately. Yeah.
even the, the IT companies that were, oh, everybody
We
can
can
work
do
from
it
home.
all remote. Yeah.
Guess what they're doing now?
Get
You
back in
either
here.
come into the office or go find another job.
Yeah.
So,
And the one of the biggest differences, I think the probably the key difference between doing a library workshop versus doing that steakhouse seminar is sales resistance. You
yeah,
can't overcome sales resistance at the steakhouse. They know it's a sales pitch.
yeah,
It's a sales guy.
yeah,
This is a bribe on my plate in front of me.
right,
This guy wants to get into my pocket and I'm not going to let him. So you got a room full of folks resistant to you
yeah.
before they got there. You show up at a library, it's flipped. That guy's got something I want. I got to get all the information out of him I can possibly get. He can't get anything out of me.
Yeah.
It's free. It's at a library.
Yeah, so
You know?
if you're an advisor and you're doing the dinner seminars, and I haven't met one, and I've worked with thousands over the years that doesn't have a list of people that reply and say they want to go to the dinner seminar, and they've got the do not invite list, or you got to call them and tell them they can't come because they've been to 4 dinner seminars and they're bringing different neighbors. Um, there's a list. Guess what? There's not a list. If you're doing our workshop, hey, look, bring them on.
How many
We don't
people went to the
care. Yeah,
library last month to learn information? That's all they
yeah,
do there.
yeah.
That's what they're there for.
And
So you're pitching to a room of folks that don't know what they're being pitched to, and they have no sales resistance.
right, and you're not really pitching. This is more. This is
You're
an
pitching the idea of,
education. This is,
yeah, let's hang
hey,
out
here's
again
what's
and
going
get more.
on.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to be aware of. These are things that are happening here in 2026 now. This is what happened in 2025. So, so it could be tax stuff, but whatever our presentation is, and it's just tweaks to our base. It's educational first.
Yeah.
This is not oh, I'm going to bait and switch them. I'm going to buy them a steak and, you know, disrupt them a little bit where they want to come in. This is information. If you want to get a deep dive and know about, this is for the client, your personal situation, then let's schedule that appointment. If not, thanks for coming up.
Yeah. I hope
I
you
hope
learned
you learned
something today.
something.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing: those that think they got it all,
I don't.
they don't. And then typically something happens in their life, and it's an oh shit moment, and they
Yep.
now need to meet with you. Well, if you're the educational guy and you're staying in front of them, we do drip campaigns. We suggest
Right.
that. Then, oh gosh, I saw Matt had a class. I went to his class last year, but now this happened. My mother died.
Yeah.
What do I do with this? I need to figure this out.
Yeah. My
Let me
across the
go
street
back to
neighbor
that
had all her
class.
money in the market. Now she's got to
Yeah.
go back to work.
Either they want to come to the class or now they want a meeting. And I can't tell you how often, because of the drip mail stuff and the campaign systems that we put in, that an advisor say, yeah, this person attended my workshop 2 years ago. And they reached back out, or they came to another one and now they set the appointment.
Yeah. These drip campaigns are minimal time and effort, and they go a long way to staying in front of your
That's
clients.
right. Right.
All right, so we're going to go into the last one here. It's probably the most overlooked. It is our strategy number 5: the disciplined execution through weekly accountability. You can have the perfect strategy, but without disciplined weekly execution, it's just expensive wall art.
Yeah, so elite advisors block out their calendars for what, we call power hours, right? We do
Mhm.
this as wholesalers
Yep.
as well. So weekly, it's non-negotiable time blocks that are dedicated to high value activities. So for example, Monday, 8 to 10, strategic prospecting and referral outreach. Wednesday, 1 to 3, you're doing content creation and thought leadership. And then on Friday, 8 to 9, let's call it weekly metrics review and next week planning. These are things, some of this is kind of familiar with what I have you
Yeah.
guys do. Well, guess what? It's a fundamental best practice in building your business, right? And if you're an advisor and you're wanting to build your practice, if you set these fundamentals up, and we can help you through that, they're game changers.
Mhm.
And it's the same thing for the wholesaler as well. Set up these practices that I know work. All of a sudden, you're in front of more A-type advisors writing more business because they're working on more people. They plugged into our systems,
Yep.
and now they're a machine, and you're there to service that machine,
Right.
right? And you've done that.
Yeah, and you've built the machine the right way from small to large rather than trying to take a huge behemoth and try to get this whole huge changeover in the culture and all that. As you bring new people on, as you scale
Yeah,
your
you're
business,
starting to build your
they're
culture.
coming into the right culture
That's right.
rather than having to break bad habits.
That's right. Right.
But you also need accountability. Whether it's a coach, one of these mastermind groups like Grant Cardone or one of those guys out there, a business partner, someone needs to be asking you every single week, did you do what you said you do? You said you were going to reach out to 500 people this week. How close did you get?
Yeah.
506, that's great.
Right.
490, well, what kept you from calling those last 10?
Yeah.
You need somebody that's going to hold your feet, maybe not to the fire, but at least a little near the heater just to keep you accountable.
Yeah, and I know as when I was a wholesaler and then, running group wholesalers, I had top advisors and always will have access to me, and that's one of the things. It's like, "Hey, who's your accountability partner?" "I don't have one." "Okay, well, you
Well,
know."
you're gonna start coming to me every
Yeah,
Friday then until
exactly.
you
Talk
find
to
one.
Matt. Matt can help you through it. Or now this is a bigger business. I need to take my business from 10 to 20 million. Right. Well, that's where I could come into play and go, hey, look, and I've done this hundreds of times where um, I'll go to the advisor's place.
Mhm.
I'll fly out there. I'll spend a day. I'll see everything that's working. It's not. If you're doing a workshop, I'll come and
Yeah.
actually attend that and help you through it. And we'll look at processes that help scale it. Right. Again, for me, this is like looking at an M&A,
Yeah.
except I'm getting to go in and see the actual work as opposed to, most of the time we were just looking at numbers and
Yeah, and that's
making our
probably
deals.
where we're pretty different as an IMO, where, an IMO will bring you on, they'll get you contracted, and they hope you grow.
Right.
But we bring you on to get you contracted, and then we help you grow.
That's right.
It's like we're profitable when you're productive,
Yeah.
so our goal is to make you more productive. And if that's you signing more contracts and doing less work, that's my goal for you too.
Yeah. Our competition that offers free leads out there, oh, sign up, we'll give you free leads. They're what you pay.
Yeah, I can tell you the leads were
Yeah.
basically free to them.
Yeah. And listen, we've tried different lead systems. Here's what works. The workshops work.
The workshops
It's
work, yeah.
proven it works.
The
But
day that we come across a lead system that works even 20% as good as a workshop, we're gonna do a
yeah,
podcast
100%.
specifically about that. We'll bring the CEO on, we'll ask him our
Yeah,
questions too. Just
exactly.
nothing works
So far, we
like
haven't
that.
seen that, and
Yeah.
I've probably have viewed 20 plus,
Yeah.
and I've
Nothing works like in-person audience
spent the
without sales
money.
resistance. That just
Exactly.
doesn't
Just,
exist.
yeah,
Without accountability though, without that external pressure, life happens.
yeah.
Priorities drift. Hey, and life happens fast. We know
Oh, yeah.
this. You know,
A good motto, huh?
hey, for my single people that might be out there, how long you been saying you're gonna clean your place?
Yeah.
You got a date Friday, I bet you clean that place.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got external
Exactly
accountability. You
right.
got somebody might be coming over Friday, or your parents are coming into town. You clean the place,
Right.
you know? Oh, I got an interview. I'm gonna go get that haircut I put off for the last 3 months, you know?
Yeah.
There's an external pressure that's put on you by having an accountability partner, and that's why it's so important to have one of those in business for
Right.
sure.
Right. So studies on goal achievement, show that people with external accountability are 95% more likely to achieve their goals than those going along solo. Because again, life happens. Oh, I
Yeah.
got this fire, I got this fire. And all of a sudden, um, 2 weeks have gone by and you've done about 5% of what you needed to get
Yep.
done. And now you're a month behind and it just snowballs as
Yeah.
opposed to, oh God, I've got a call with Matt today. He's going to ask me and I got nothing. Well, what happens is you've now shifted it and like, I'm going to have these 2 or 3
Yeah.
things done. I didn't get 5 things done, but I got 2 of them done or 3 of
Yeah.
them done. And then we're going to talk about what happened on the
Yeah.
other 2. Because listen,
And like, hey, that one was a 5-minute phone call. Make it
Yeah.
right now. I'll wait.
yeah, right. Yeah.
That's what your accountability
Yeah,
partner does.
yeah,
They're like a
exactly.
personal trainer for
Yeah.
business.
And then
And
what happens is then all of a sudden it's like this stuff I can do in 10 or 15 minutes. I can get those knocked out,
yeah.
and it just makes you better to where it becomes kind of a habit for me, right?
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet that folks that hire a personal trainer, I bet you there's statistics out there that show that they are more fit.
Oh,
And it
100%.
has nothing to do with him coming in and showing you proper technique and all that stuff. It's because you hired this guy to come make sure you work out, and he makes
Exactly.
you work out. So it's the same gym
Exactly.
membership you always had,
Right. But
but
now
you
you're
got a
actually
guy that's
doing it.
making you go
Yeah.
there 3 or 4 days a week, where some weeks you'd go 3 or 4 days. Next week you'd go 1. The
Right.
week after that, you find a reason not to go every
Exactly.
single day.
Because
Then
it's
next week you're back at
January
it at 4.
30th.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. Let's do it.
So
You got
think
a gym, you got a workout guy. Now you're showing up.
Yeah, so think of your accountability partner basically as a personal trainer
Yeah.
for business.
Yep.
And go get you a good one. Go get somebody that owns their own business, or somebody that's like this guy. He's owned several, successful businesses, and kind of bounce ideas off of them. You
Yeah.
can be their accountability partner too, but just somebody be like, "Hey man, how'd that deal on Friday
Yeah.
go? Did you close that guy?" Somebody that's in
Exactly.
your corner rooting for you, patting you on the back. That's never a bad thing to have too. And this isn't optional, everybody. This is structural.
Yeah.
This is the foundation of your house. You could live in a house without a foundation, but not very long.
Yeah. All right. So we've given you this roadmap. Now let's talk about some of the landmines that are out there, the common ways that, advisors end up sabotaging their own growth, even when they've got a solid plan put in
Yeah.
place.
So pitfall number one, that's confusing revenue with profit. So we see advisors hit their revenue goal, but their take home pay it barely moves
Yeah.
because they've hired inefficiently, or they've added overhead without any corresponding value. Remember, revenue is vanity, profit is sanity, cash flow is reality.
Yeah. And so here's the solution. Track your profit margins monthly. Target 35 to 40% for a healthy practice. So if you're below 25%, you've got expense bloat and pricing problems. And I
Right.
see that all the time when I come in and do a analysis of an advisor's practice. So before adding any new expense, ask, will this generate 3 times the cost that it costs in additional revenue or time savings within 12 months? So not immediately,
Right.
but if I do this, does it generate 3 times its cost? So if it costs me 5, is it generating me 15,000 in revenue? Okay. If not, then it's simple. It's a no.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. Pitfall number 2, shiny object syndrome.
Oh
We're all
boy.
guilty of it. Every month there's
Okay.
a new marketing tactic, a new software
New
tool,
silver bullet.
yeah, a new must-do strategy.
These
You
leads
know,
are the best ever.
yeah, the best leads. And what we say here, it's all buzz and no honey. Advisors jump from tactic to tactic without giving
Okay.
anything time enough to work. It's like switching head
Come
coaches
on.
6 times in a season. Like you haven't given your system time to
Yeah.
get implemented and get up and
It's
running.
it's like the NIL portal, but worse.
Exactly.
'Cause I've
Definitely
I've had
worse.
advisors that, yeah, I'm going to do it, and then they get another call from another IMO with the silver bullet with,
Ooh, that
oh,
sounds yeah, Imma
this
do that
really
one,
seems
yeah.
easy. I'm going to do this one, and here they are. It's 6 months later. They're still where they were the prior year because they chased 3 shiny magic bullets,
And then they say, "Nothing works."
and nothing works. As opposed to put the process, come in and go, this is going to be my process. This is what my day to day looks like. This is what my week to week, my month to month.
Right.
And you make it a process. That's what the big advice, that's the biggest difference. It's processes versus hope,
Right.
right? So here's the solution. You got to pick 3 growth initiatives for the year, and then you got to go deep. So we're starting out
Yeah,
2026.
if you're on your 5th
So,
CRM in the last 2 years, you got shiny
yeah,
object
or if you
syndrome,
don't
and
have a
there's
CRM,
or if you don't have
yeah,
a CRM, yeah.
as you're into chasing leads, whatever. So here's an example. I'm building a referral engine. I'm launching a niche position strategy, and I'm hiring an associate advisor. That's
That's it.
it. Done.
For the year, that's it, just those 3.
Master those 3 before we start the 4th.
Yep.
Because it's really easy to, I'm going to do this and then do this, and then you're 4 months in and nothing's working because
Yeah.
you've gone too far. So if you master those 3 and those 3 are working, then you build that 4th. So you got to strategically do that. That depth beats breadth every single time.
Right.
Every time.
And if you only mastered one of those by the end of the year, it's more than
Or
you would have
that
mastered if you'd have been switching every 30 days.
it's
Yeah,
30
one's
percent
better than
better.
none.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pitfall number 3, and that is waiting for perfect
Yeah,
conditions, and
it's
this is
huge.
huge. I'll start prospecting heavily once I get my new CRM
Oh,
set up,
boy.
or I'll do it once I hire someone. I'll wait for the market to calm down.
Yeah, oh, God, we hear
Keep
you.
waiting.
Yeah.
It's never gonna calm down. There's always a reason to wait. There's
Yep.
always an excuse when you need one. It doesn't even have to be any good excuse. If you're gonna come up with one, you've already done yourself the
Yep.
disservice. But your competitor, meanwhile, who's 80% ready, is they're taking the market share from you. They are scooping up your clients before they
Yeah,
even before you even knew they were a potential client.
right. So here's the solution here. Adopt the good enough to go standard, okay? Not perfection, it's good enough to go. So
Right.
your website doesn't need to be perfect. It would be good if you had a website.
Yeah. We can
Your
help you there.
LinkedIn profile doesn't need to be flawless. We can help build that.
Yeah.
Um, the launch, get the feedback back, then iterate on that.
Right.
Progress over perfection, always. I've seen too many people, and there's a parable out there with the king, and
And
the
the
king
vase
has
and
the
all that.
two,
Yeah.
yeah, the vases, and he's got the one group of slaves that make as many as you can. The other one make the perfect one, and then in a month, come back and show me your best vase. And lo and behold, the guy that did the thousands of vases, they brought the better vase than the ones that were trying to perfect the best one. So, long story short, just get it on out there. If it's
Yeah.
social media, get it on. We can help with that, but let's get it going. Let's not try to be perfect. Oh, I need to lose 10 pounds, then I'll get on the camera. No, because 10 pounds is just like every other
Yeah.
New Year's
And,
Eve.
you spend 6 months building your perfect website.
Yeah.
You are 6 months behind the guy that got it good enough to go live in
Yeah.
January, and he's been out there generating leads and referrals off this thing for 6 months.
Yeah.
You'll never catch up to him because he's like we're saying, he's already got his digital presence. You're starting to build yours.
Right.
He's already got one. He's got a bunch of clients that found him by having a digital presence that you never heard about.
Right. Because
Now
you're
he's
up there.
got them and he's got their referrals.
That's
You're
right.
so far behind by
And maybe your
like
website looks 100% better, but he's been in front of them, and they're
yeah,
not gonna
you
leave
gotta you
because
gotta close
oh,
600% as
you
many
got
people.
yeah, I'm leaving you, Matt, because Kevin's got a better website. And
Yeah.
that's not reality,
This
man.
makes a cha-ching when I
Yeah.
pay my monthly premium.
Yeah, it's we can get that out there rather quickly.
Yeah, and, pitfall number 4, you got ignoring the numbers. You can't manage what you don't measure.
Bingo.
Too many advisors have 0 idea of their true
Yeah.
metrics. Conversion rates, average client value, lead sources, client acquisition costs.
I ask that
Um,
every time when I go in and do a analysis, and I've had a couple
yeah, what's your client
of the
acquisition
1,000
cost?
yeah.
Well, I
I
paid
don't know.
$200 for 2,000
So I
leads.
start asking questions. I'm like, okay, well, here's your client acquisition cost.
Yeah,
It's too high.
yeah,
Or you're not spending any money in here.
yeah,
It's amazing you're doing what you're doing. So let's spend a little bit. You're obviously really good at closing because you're not spending anything. So these are things that we could work through
yeah,
and
and
build it
also how
practice.
much time you spend
Yeah.
on a case or on a specific client because like in my case I was chasing down for months a teeny tiny little bit of premium and what it earned me in hours spent versus revenue brought in, it's like it's worse than sweatshop wages. I'm going to tell you that
Oh,
right now.
100%. Yeah, he could have.
It was almost a waste of money, but
The
we got it
people and the
closed
kids in China were making more money than he made on that one, but
for months. They're way ahead of
we're
me.
way ahead. So here's you got to implement a simple dashboard that tracks really, I think, 5 metrics week. Number one, new leads
New leads.
generated.
Yep, that's your faucet. You got to
Yeah.
turn that thing on.
That's got to happen. Number two, discovery meetings held. Number three is proposals presented. Number four, clients closed. And then number five is the revenue
Got
that
it.
you've
Yeah.
added to your book.
Yeah, and when you track these weekly, you're going to spot the problems early.
Yeah.
If you have conversion problems, you're going to notice that bringing leads on isn't the problem. pitching them stuff isn't the problem, but then you're closing almost no deals.
Yeah.
You need some sales coaching.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what you're gonna do if you work with us? You're gonna call me, you're gonna pitch me that last product I just sent you the illustration for.
Yeah. It,
Close me, and then go
and
close your
and a
client.
lot of times it's because the advisor ends up knowing too much about how the, in our case, the annuity works, or the life insurance. And you
Yeah.
start getting into the weeds and you've lost them. So you've got to, we've got some shows that we talk about. You've got to understand their problems and
Mhm.
solve and know where their pain points are and solve those.
Yeah.
And,
And if
and,
you're
and
not there
everything
yet,
else
we
is
can get you
a
there.
100%.
Another one is I had 10 leads this
That's
week.
right. Yeah.
I had 2 meetings. I got a follow-up problem. I don't have a lead problem. I got more leads than apparently I can meet with.
Right.
I have a problem getting the other 8
To
to set an
show up. Yeah.
appointment with me. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're missing something up front.
And the clarity that you get from that is invaluable
Yep.
because like these people, oh, if I just had more leads, I just had more leads. We can
Right.
give you 1.5 million leads. If you don't know how to call them up after that second meeting, we're not gonna be able to help you.
Yeah.
So you get that invaluable clarity.
Yeah. All right. So we've covered a ton today. Matt's done a lot of talking, which I know he enjoys doing. But can, the, here's what we got to look at: constraint analysis. So the 2026 growth stack, we need tier specific strategies. We got to address the common pitfalls. So you might be, spinning a little bit, and that's okay because we've gone through a lot of different stuff and pontificated on probably way too much. But here's what we need you to do in these next 48 hours after you've heard it.
Yeah, we've created a free resource specifically for listeners of this episode called Double Your Production
Yeah, baby.
2026 Planning Workbook. This is not some generic PDF. It's a step-by-step interactive workbook that walks you through your constraint analysis audit, to help you identify exactly what's limiting your growth right now. It has the 90-day action plan template. You're going to break your 2026 goal into quarterly milestones with specific activities.
Yep.
We've got a client segmentation calculator.
Love my calculator.
Yeah, he loves these calculators. Man. You should have worked for Texas Instruments. So your calculator is going to help you determine which client should get premium service versus systematized service.
Right.
We got a weekly accountability scorecard so you can track your power hours and your key metrics, and the revenue projection model. Plug in your numbers and see exactly what activities are required to hit your target.
Yeah, and listen, this workbook's been used by several of hundreds or so advisors that we've coached, and the average user increases their production by what, 60, almost 70%, 67%, call it 70, round up, within 18 months of implementation. So, look, this system works. And again, it's about your- getting some of that stuff and putting it down, seeing it, and changing few little things.
Yeah, you want
That's
67% more production, you're going to have to get 67% better. Or you're going to have to work 67% longer.
right.
And a lot of y'all out there are already putting in 10 and 12-hour days. Where are
Right.
those hours going to come
Right.
from? Recapture some of that time by just gaining some efficiency, and we can help you with that.
Yeah. So this exact framework we use in our private coaching, and today what we're sharing is absolutely free. If you're an advisor and you want to come on board, we're going to
We'll
go
be
through
happy
how
to
to
have
do
you.
that. You're looking to pay for one-on-one coaching. There's a way to do that.
Yeah. But if you want this downloadable copy of our 2026 planning guide, go to planliferight.com/double.
Yep.
That's planliferight.com/double. Enter your email and we'll send it to you immediately. Plus, you'll get access to a private video training where Kevin and I walk through a real case study of an advisor who went from 2.8 million to 5.1 million using this exact system.
And here's the bonus. Everyone who downloads the workbook this month gets automatically entered into a free 90-minute growth strategy session with Matt and me.
I'll make sure Kevin's doing most of the talking on that one.
Which I don't know, it's $2,500, $5,000
at least
value
for
at least. I mean,
Professional management
90
consulting.
minutes, that's
Yeah.
probably 5,000 if I'm
Yeah.
involved. 2,500 for Matt. He's the cheaper one.
I'm a cheap date.
So listen, we'll personally audit your practice, identify your number one constraint, and build your 90-day sprint plan. Listen, we're going to select three winners here at the end of January. So make sure that you click on there and you download this tool.
Yeah, but here's the reality check for you guys. Listening to this episode changes nothing. Action changes everything. So we can give you the world's best blueprint, but if you don't download that workbook, block out your power hours and start executing, you'll be having the same conversation with yourself in December 2026 that you had in December of 2024 and 2025.
Yeah, so listen, don't let that happen. Go to planliferight.com, click on the double. You pause the episode, you can go find it there. We'll also be able to find it on our advisor rescue .net website
Yep,
um, as well. So listen, you do this, your future self, I promise you, will thank you. Right?
definitely.
All right. So that's going to wrap up this episode today. Matt, any final thoughts before we close out?
I'll keep it short and sweet.
Well, that's
Doubling your
usual.
production isn't about working twice as hard. It's about working fundamentally different. You need smarter systems, better leverage, disciplined execution. If you're currently at 2 million or 5 million, you've already proven that you can build and grow.
Right.
Now it's about removing those constraints and stepping into the advisor and the business owner that you're capable of becoming.
Could not have said that better myself, and
I
way
learned from the best.
shorter than I really was giving you credit for. So remember here, 2026 is going to happen whether you plan for it or not. The question is, are you going to drift into it, or are you going to architect it intentionally? Are you going to be a 6-7 year average again, or are you going to do something? You're going to go 8, 9, 10, raising the roof.
Thanks for listening to this Plan Life Right podcast. If today's episode resonated, do us a favor, share it with one advisor friend who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to grab your free Double Your Production workbook at planliferight.com/double.
Life happens fast, so plan life right.
We'll catch you on the next one.